You ever have a night that just cracks your heart open, lets the cold in, and makes you wonder if maybe, just maybe, there's something bigger out there watching over you? Yeah, that was Aspen Ridge in January, the kind of winter where even hope freezes. So picture this. Officer Nathan Cole, tired eyes, uniform crisp, patrolling empty streets with only the crunch of black ice beneath his boots and his old K9, Bruno, in the back seat, breathing slow and deep. They're both carrying scars you can't see. You know what I mean? Memories that dig in when the air gets too quiet. And then, out of nowhere, Bruno freezes. Ears up, eyes sharp. There's a sound, so faint you almost think you imagined it. A child's voice, trembling, half a prayer, half a plea. Please, my sister's too little to die. That's the kind of line you don't forget. Not if you've ever lost something that mattered. Nathan steps out, follows Bruno to the glass doors of Aspen General, and right there, huddled beneath a bus stop bench, a little boy no older than 6. Clutching a baby tight against his chest, a woman slumped beside them, barely breathing, hair matted, skin ghost pale. The boy's name is Tyler, eyes too old for his age, cheeks red raw from the cold. The baby's wrapped in a man's coat, breath thin as tissue. And the mother, Melissa, she's out cold, fever burning through what little strength she has left. No one's coming, Mama, Tyler whispers, voice clouding in the frigid air. Melissa stirs just enough to say, they won't take us. No insurance. That's a sentence you hear too often in towns like these. Nathan feels it twist in his gut, because he lost his wife Elise in a clinic just like this, turned away for paperwork while time ran out. But tonight there's no walking away. Bruno moves in, sits beside Tyler, licks his hand once like, I got you, kid. Nathan kneels, checks Melissa's pulse. Weak, but there. You're not safe out here, he says, but Tyler only hugs his baby sister tighter. Bruno presses close, a living shield against the dark. Just then, from down the block, old Harley Finch, the janitor, shows up, limping, keys jangling, Vietnam vet with a face full of stories. I can get you in the back, he grunts. Nathan lifts Melissa. She's terrifyingly light. And together, with Tyler walking beside Bruno like they've known each other forever, they slip into the clinic's warmth. But inside, the battle's just begun. Dim hallways, peeling paint, a door locked to the main wing. Harley mutters about admin codes. But there's no time. Nathan pounds the door, wakes up Rita Gomez, a nurse with sharp eyes and a badge pinned crooked. Clinic's closed. She snaps, already half shutting the door. No insurance? Nathan doesn't answer. Then Dave Rossner, night supervisor, appears, tired, hollowed out. All protocol and policy. Yar's 2 towns over. Nathan just looks at him. She won't survive the drive. You can feel the tension, right? Like the room itself is holding its breath. Joel, the security guard, steps in, big and slow-moving, hand on his belt, eyes on Bruno. The dog doesn't move, doesn't growl, just stares, daring anyone to separate him from the boy. And outside, a young reporter, Ethan Mills, presses his camera to the window, capturing everything. Because sometimes you need the world to see what it tries not to look at. Finally, Nathan's voice cuts the quiet. 2 kids and their dying mother are standing in front of you. Are you really going to make me carry her to a morgue? There's a pause, a heartbeat of doubt, before Dave nods. Exam 3. And just like that, the doors open. Bruno leads Tyler inside. Nathan lays Melissa on the bed, and for a long moment, everyone just holds still, afraid to hope. Dr. Jane Rowan bursts in, late 50s, sharp eyes. Long memory. 15 years ago, Nathan saved her son's life, and tonight she pays that debt forward. She moves with command. Oxygen. 4 antibiotics, her hands never shaking. Her voice never soft, but never cruel. Tyler finally asks, is she going to be okay? Dr. Rowan crouches down, says, you did good, kid. You kept her safe. And Bruno, God, Bruno just presses close. So steady you'd think he was born for this one moment. An hour crawls by, then 2, then Melissa stabilizes. The internet explodes. Ethan's video goes viral. A cop, a dog, a boy in the snow. Bruno's the star, Guardian Bruno. And Nathan? He's called to account, grilled by corporate suits and cheap ties, asked why he broke the rules. Nathan just shrugs, because someone had to. Tyler waits outside, clutching Bruno's collar, asking, "Are they mad because you helped us?" Nathan says, "A little, but sometimes rules get in the way of doing what's right." Of course, it doesn't end there. Lucas, the kid's father, blows back into town, pale, fidgety, carrying the stink of regret and entitlement. He tries to take the kids, but Bruno steps between them, silent, unwavering, a line in the sand. There's a growl, a moment where everyone holds their breath, and Lucas backs down. "I'll come back with a lawyer." Nathan says, "You do that." It goes to court, spring just starting to break the town's cold grip. The judge, Helen Whitmore, silver-haired and stone-faced, listens to every word. Lucas's lawyer spins stories about stability, new jobs, second chances. Melissa stands up, voice steady, says, "I never left. Not once." Tyler's called forward, hand on Bruno's collar, and the judge asks, "Who makes you feel safe?" Tyler glances at his mom, at Nathan, then down at Bruno. "My mom. And Bruno. And Officer Nathan. Bruno's not my dog, but he came back when no one else did." That's all it takes, the truth laid bare. Simple as daylight. The judge grants custody to Melissa, recognizes Bruno as Tyler's emotional support guardian, and when Lucas tries to protest, Bruno's quiet growl shuts him up for good. Case closed. Life settles into a new rhythm. Melissa's stronger, Tyler's laughter returns, Clara toddles after her brother in mismatched socks. And Nathan finds a kind of peace he thought he'd lost for good. The house smells of coffee and cut grass. The porch is home to crayon drawings of a dog with angel wings, and at sunset, Bruno lies stretched across the welcome mat, older, slower, but still watching over his family. And if you ask me, that's the kind of miracle we should pay attention to, not the lightning, not the thunder, but the quiet loyalty that holds us together when the world tries to pull us apart. You ever have a four-legged angel save your life? Drop their name in the comments. Share this if you believe rules are worth breaking when love's on the line. And if you think the world needs more Brunos, more Nathans, more everyday heroes, hit subscribe, join the conversation, and remind someone out there that hope walks on four paws and stays up all night beside you. Yeah, sometimes God sends help the long way around, but he always sends it. Amen to that. Let me tell you, life doesn't go back to normal overnight, no matter how many hearts clicked like on some viral video. Truth is, the spotlight fades fast, but what's left is just people, raw and real, learning how to breathe again. For a while, every day felt fragile as glass. Melissa woke each morning still expecting the worst. Sometimes she'd check to make sure her kids were really there. Sometimes she'd sit on the porch, mug trembling in her hands, watching Bruno, as if the dog alone could keep bad luck away. Nathan? He tried to play it cool. Show up with groceries and a crooked smile, always claiming he just happened to be in the neighborhood. Yeah, right, like anybody believed that. But he never pushed, never rushed. Instead, he fixed the broken steps, shoveled the walk, taught Tyler how to ride a rusty old bike he'd rescued from the dump. It was like every chore was just another way of saying, "You're not alone now." Even on days when his own demons whispered he didn't deserve a second chance, Nathan stayed. And there was Bruno, always Bruno, padding between rooms, tail thumping against furniture, patient, wise, sometimes almost too tired to move except when Clara giggled and he'd get up just to see what she was laughing at. Because, dogs like him, they don't just protect. They remind you joy's worth the trouble. Funny thing is, the world only saw the miracle part, the rescue, the court verdict, the happy ending. But inside that house, healing was slow, uneven, sometimes ugly. One night, just when spring had begun to taste like hope, the past came knocking again, but not the way anyone expected. Tyler had been quiet all day, and as the sun set, he started pacing the kitchen, eyes darting to the front door like he was waiting for a storm. Melissa knelt beside him, asked what was wrong, but he wouldn't say. Bruno sat nearby, alert, watching the boy's every move. Suddenly, there was a loud banging at the door. Melissa's heart stuttered. Nathan stepped out of the back room, hand on his radio instinctively. But Bruno got there first, body tense, blocking the door before anyone else moved. On the porch stood Lucas, worse for wear, eyes hollow, anger burning beneath the surface. But this time, he wasn't alone. His brother, Marty, stood beside him, A man with a sly grin and a stare that never settled. The kind of guy you'd cross the street to avoid. "Open up, Mel. We're here to talk." Lucas called out, voice slurred with something darker than just whiskey. Melissa froze. Tyler clung to Bruno's collar, shaking, and Clara started to cry, her wails rising into the evening air. Nathan nodded once to Melissa, calm but ready, then opened the door just wide enough to speak, his presence filling the frame. "Not tonight, Lucas. Not any night." Marty laughed, sharp and mean. "You think you can keep us from family? Blood's blood." Nathan squared his shoulders. "Blood's just biology. Family's who shows up." Bruno growled, low, deep, vibrating through the floor. Lucas took a step back, face twitching, but Marty leaned in, eyes darting around the hallway. "You want to end up on the news again, hero?" He spat the word. In that moment, something changed. Tyler, usually quiet, stepped forward, pressed his face into Bruno's fur, then straightened up, meeting Lucas's gaze dead on. "We're already family. Go home." The look on Lucas's face twisted, anger, shame, something close to regret, but he turned away, dragging Marty with him. As they vanished into the darkness, Nathan shut the door, leaned back against it with a shaky breath. "You okay, buddy?" he asked Tyler. The boy nodded, then reached for his mother's hand. Bruno's tail wagged, slow and steady, like a flag planted on new ground. And life, as strange as it sounds, settled again. The viral fame cooled down, though the locals still nodded at Nathan in the grocery store. And once, a woman handed Melissa an envelope with $50 and a note, for the mother who never quit. Nathan found himself spending more time at the cabin, always careful, always asking, never assuming. While Tyler and Clara played chase around Bruno in the fading light. Melissa stared at the horizon, voice soft. "You know, there are nights I can't sleep. Not because I'm scared, but because I'm finally not." "That makes sense." Nathan grinned. "Yeah, it does. Took me years to figure that out myself." She turned, studying him. "Why'd you keep coming back, Nathan? After everything?" He hesitated, then shrugged. "Guess I was tired of running from what hurt. Tired of letting rules tell me when to care." Bruno snorted, like he agreed. Later, as dusk settled and the sky went purple, Tyler sat beside Nathan, legs dangling off the porch. "You think Bruno gets old like us?" Tyler asked, tracing the silver in the dog's fur. Nathan nodded. "We all do, kid. But some souls never stop guarding what matters." Tyler smiled. "Good. I'll need him a long time." In town, rumors flew. Some people said Nathan and Melissa were together now. Some whispered it was scandalous. Others said it was about time. But for those inside the little house, it was never about gossip. It was about rebuilding. One sunrise, one fence post, one quiet promise at a time. Still, not everything tied up neat. Lucas tried to file for visitation again, this time with a better lawyer and a whole pile of character witnesses. The fight went on, long, wearying, sometimes vicious. Tyler had nightmares again. Bruno would sleep at his feet all night, refusing to leave even for food. Melissa testified with more steel in her voice than anyone remembered. And Nathan, called into court more than once, never changed his story. "I did what I had to. I'd do it again." Judge Whitmore listened, eyes sharp behind her glasses, and in her final ruling, she didn't just side with Melissa. She made it clear. This family survived because someone broke protocol for the sake of compassion. We could use more of that. She granted only supervised, monthly visits to Lucas, and ordered that Bruno remain Tyler's registered emotional guardian for as long as needed. Some folks called it justice. Some called it charity. Others just called it a miracle that for once, the right people stayed. So now, as summer pushes away the last of the snow, you can still find them there. Nathan hammering away at a new treehouse, Melissa reading in the hammock, Clara napping in a sunbeam, Tyler painting pictures on the fence, and Bruno, old but undefeated, sleeping in the grass, always between the world and his boy. And me? I just hope you see what I see. The little moments where love outlasts fear, where family is chosen, guarded, fought for. Maybe miracles do come quietly. Maybe the rules get bent. And maybe, just maybe, there's still a God who sends help the long way around, wrapped in fur, wearing scars, bringing people home. So what about you? You ever have someone, or some dog, stand between you and the storm? Do you think breaking the rules for kindness is worth it? Drop your stories, your struggles, your miracles below. The world needs them. And if you think this family deserves a happy ending, or if you think there's more to justice than black and white, hit subscribe, share your thoughts. And let's keep the conversation going. Because the real story never ends. It just waits for the next soul brave enough to stay.